One thing I do hate about this industry is the fact that licensing agreements and all these other things that kind of hindered the preservation of games is a real problem. And I talked about this on one of my shorts about Stop Killing Games earlier today. And yeah, that's going kind of to the left a little bit. Don't want to get into that right now. But I do want to talk about the Psikyo shooting collection. These games are really good. And unfortunately, they're being delisted. I want to talk about this, give you my thoughts and opinions on it. So if this is your first time here, welcome. Over here, I talk about gaming and everything under that umbrella. Hopefully, you guys hang around. Check out all the stuff that's down in the description. I do go live from time to time where we play games and all the other good stuff and just have a good time. So let's talk about this right here. The Psikyo Collection, 12 classic arcade titles. They're leaving Steam, where they already left Steam as of this recording. I mean, because I just found out about this evening, and these games are really, really good in my opinion. Unfortunately, City Connection put out this statement on Steam, just said, hey, thank you very much for your continued support. Sales of the following Steam games will end on October 31st due to the expiration of licenses. So these games are Strikers 1945, 45-2, 45-3, Gun Barrage 1, Gun Barrage, Gunbird 1 and 2, Samurai Aces 1, 2, and 3, Soul Divide, Dragon Blaze, and Zero Gunner 2. Now, these games, in my opinion, are very good. And I also know that you can play these on MAME or whatever the case may be. I get it. I mean, we already know how it is on PC. But these games are being delisted, and I do like having these games in a official capacity. And I do have all 12 of these titles on Steam, but it's just unfortunate, like, these type of games are very hard to find in the wild. You just can't get these games, and they're pretty much lost. They're going to be lost media at some point, because even though they're delisted off of Steam, you can still buy these games on PS4. You can still buy these on Switch, and I think it's still on Xbox. But I feel like it's a matter of time that they're going to be going from there as well. So if you have a console and you want these games, you want to try them out, I highly recommend them personally. I did, even before these games came out on the on the digital side, I bought a physical copy of the first collection. These games come in a pack of 6. The first collection has 6, the other collection has 6, and the first collection has the games that are on the screen that are not highlighted. So this collection, Volume 1, has Strikers 1945, 1, 2, and 3, Soul Divide, Dragon Blades, and Zero Gunner 2. Volume 2 has the ones that are highlighted, and I need to get those. I need to get this collection. For one, that Gunbird 1 and 2 alone are excellent shooters, and you can basically find them. I guess you can find them in different places. They're not easy to find. I like Gunbird was a PS1. It was a PS1 and a Saturn game. Gunbird 2 was a Dreamcast game. I think Gun Barrage and Samurai Aces, I think they came out for the PlayStation 2 only in Japan, but I could be wrong. But I know Gunbird 1 came out only in Japan on PS1 and Saturn. I think it also came out later on the PS1 as Mobile Light Force. Don't quote me on that, but I'm almost certain I think it did. Gunbird 2 is a very expensive game right now for the Dreamcast, but that's a different story. I'm just here to say this. Look, it's really unfortunate where some of these games just continue to be delisted. You can go on delistedgames.com and you can see a whole bunch of games constantly being delisted. It's pretty rough seeing these games being added and taken. I don't know. It's just a thing. I understand licensing agreements, City Connection don't necessarily have the ownership of these games. They just publish them. And once they find out, like, look, you only got it for X amount of years, they only got that much time to put these games on Steam, and it is what it is. Unfortunately, I do have a physical copy of this, and I plan on getting a physical copy of the other one. And if you want to get these games, I highly recommend them, because you see this a lot nowadays. Like, even with Raiden 4. Raiden 4 is another game that was delisted a while back off of Steam, and I think that's ended up being delisted off of consoles as well. So I ended up picking that up, but I think they did a remastered version of that for the PS5, so I think it's still there. But I just look at it like this, if you see a game and you're on the fence about it, if it ever goes on sale and you can afford the full price, I highly recommend you picking the game up because you just never know. If you can get it physical, that's even better. I recommend you getting it physical because even though 6 of these games are not on Steam anymore, and I do believe at some point these games will not be on PlayStation 4, Switch, or Xbox. I got a feeling that that's going to be the case. It's good to have a physical version of the game because you just never know that when these games just go away and then you just can't play them anymore, or you be kicking yourself because you didn't buy them. I know some people right now in the Steam forums, they're looking at these games like, man, they had them for sale not too long ago. I probably should have picked these up, and that's just how it be sometimes. I've dealt with that with some games that I thought I was gonna buy and I didn't. Like, for instance, Project Cars 3. That was delisted. And I should have bought that for Steam. I ended up buying a physical copy for my PS4, which is great. I did end up doing that, but I lost out on getting on all the DLC. So all the DLC that I could have got on is gone now. So uh and for me, somebody who likes these type of games, arcade shooters, racing games, fighting games, I try to pick up the ones that I want. I try to pick them up in a physical form because of stuff like this. You just never know. Like, I even got to the point where I end up going back to buy Project Cars 1 and 2 on my PS4 because of they've been delisted. And you just, yeah, like I said, you just never know when this stuff may happen. But it is what it is. I also think that, you know, when these games are available, it's always a good thing that they are available. I think that these games aren't easy to pick up. You look at a game like Zero Gunner 2, that game right there is a Dreamcast game that is extremely expensive on Dreamcast. And I think you can buy that game sold by itself on the Switch. I think Zero Gunner 2 is a game that you could buy on the Switch separately by itself, which would be excellent. I highly recommend picking it up because Zero Gunner 2 is like one of those Dreamcast games that are just absolutely excellent. If you try to buy the Dreamcast version, I think that game goes for over $250 right now. So if you find this game in the wild for a decent price, I highly recommend you getting it. It's a very good shooter. So I think it's always a celebration when these games are released, but it does sucks when these games do fall by the wayside and they end up getting delisted. Now we're looking at a situation where more of the online stuff is being delisted. You look at the Codemaster stuff. That stuff is starting to go away. Grid 2019, Dirt 4 online capabilities is about to be delisted. All these other games that are under that umbrella is about to be gone away. And if you don't have a physical copy of them, you may just miss out. Like, I believe right now, and I'm gonna get out of here after I say this. I think Dirt Rally 1 and 2, I think those games are going up in price because they know at some point those games are going to be, delisted. Excuse me. So I'm going to get up out of here. I think I rambled enough about this delisted stuff. It's kind of disheartening, but it's a part of the business nowadays, and it sucks. It does. But y'all let me know what you guys think. I'm going to get up out of here. Hopefully I'll catch you guys when I go live. I'll probably be trying to go live sometime this next few uploads or whatever. It'll probably be a live show or whatever. And we'll talk then. I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.